Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States of America. Credited with abolishing slavery, he was assassinated by Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth. Hello and welcome to History with Natalie. Today we will talk about Abraham Lincoln. If you like historical and biographical videos, then this is the place for you. Don't forget to like and click the subscribe button. Abraham Lincoln was born on the 12th of February 1809 in Hardin County, Kentucky. He had two siblings, a sister called Sarah and a brother named Thomas, who died as a child. Sarah would later die in childbirth. In late 1816, the Lincoln family moved to Indiana, where his father worked the land. 2 years later, tragedy struck when his mother passed away. His father remarried a local widow a year later. His stepmother, Sarah, encouraged Lincoln to read. In 1830, Abraham Lincoln moved to Illinois, where he worked various jobs, including a flatboatman in which he would travel down the Mississippi River, often traveling to New Orleans, where he was exposed to the realities of slavery. Lincoln married Mary Todd on the 4th of November 1842 in Springfield, Illinois. The couple were blessed with 4 sons, Robert, Edward, William and Thomas. However, only Robert would live to an adult. Edward died at age 4, William died at age 12, Thomas, the youngest, outlived his father but would die of a heart failure at age 18. Mary and Lincoln were said to be doting parents, even though Lincoln wasn't home very much. However, during her later years, the strain of the deaths of her husband and her children ultimately would lead Mary to go to the asylum in 1865. Robert would take a similar path to his father, entering law before going into politics. He would serve as a U.S. Secretary of War under President Garfield and Arthur. He would also serve as a U.S. Ambassador to the UK under President Benjamin Harrison. Lincoln started as a lawyer before entering politics. He worked as a prairie lawyer, traveling around mid-state county courts for a period of 10 weeks at a time. His largest clients was the Illinois Central Railroad. Lincoln's conduct as a lawyer earned him the nickname Honest Abe. In 1858, Lincoln challenged Stephen A. Douglas for the Senate seat. He lost but gained national recognition. In May 1860, he was nominated on the 3rd ballot at the Republican National Convention in Chicago. Lincoln was eventually elected president on the 6th of November 1860. Lincoln was the first Republican president. However, many in the South were not happy at his election, and several states made plans to leave the Union. Eventually, 11 of these formed a Confederacy, but Lincoln refused to recognize the Confederacy, and dialogue between the two sides continued to no avail. On the 12th of April 1861, the Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. This began the American Civil War. After the attack on Fort Sumter, Lincoln sent forces to preserve the Union. This forced some states to pick a side. Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee and Arkansas joined the Confederacy, with Kentucky remaining neutral. Lincoln imposed a blockade on Confederate ports and imprisoned Confederate sympathizers. Lincoln also ended slavery during the Civil War with the passing of the 13th Amendment on January 31, 1865. As the Confederate States fell, they were reintroduced to the Union. On March 4, 1865, Lincoln delivered his second inaugural address. 1 month later, on April 9th, Confederate forces surrendered, officially ending the war. 5 days later, while attending a play at the local Ford Theatre, Lincoln was assassinated. His killer was John Wilkes Booth, an actor and Confederate sympathizer. Booth shot Lincoln in the back of the head. He remained in a coma for several hours and was declared dead the next morning. On May 4, 1865, Lincoln was buried in Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield, Illinois. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe. We welcome any comments to help improve future videos.